Okay, so we've got one more video in this module. At least I hope it's one more video. I think I'll have everything covered, where we have one more thing that we can edit. So far in our Dreamweaver template, when we go to a page, we can edit the main content. We can also edit the page title. That's what you see up here in this tab. And then there's one more thing that we can edit, and that's going to be other meta tags on the page. In particular, a meta description, and we're going to also learn how to add robots. Alright, so let's go to our page. Right now we have our template. That's not where we want to edit because these changes need to happen on each and every page. And every page should have a unique page title and a unique page description. So let's start off with our About page. By the way, while we're here, notice how we had created this old copy just in case. Well, we don't need that anymore. So if you want to delete it, you can highlight it, right click it, edit, delete. And then that gets rid of your page. It'll always say, "You sure?" You just hit yes. Now if you add any links to that page, it would give you another warning saying, do you want to update these links? And then you'd have to go and fix that. But since we didn't have any links to that old page, backup page, there isn't an issue with that. Let's create a new meta description for our title. Now you can see here that we get a meta title that we could do unique. So this is unique. Generally speaking, with titles, probably best to go with 65 characters or fewer. And the reason why I bring that up is if we go to a search engine, and this should go a little faster than that. There we go. And let's say we do, I don't know, let's look for web comic about dogs. So we can see here you get a bunch of results in the search engines. And what Google shows you is the page title, and then here the description. Now if you didn't give it a description, it'll pull content from your page. And sometimes that can look okay, but sometimes, like in these cases, not so good. Alright. Let's see, here's a good 19 hilarious dog comments that every dog owner will. Now this one got cut off because it was too long. But you get the idea of what a description, and a lot of these descriptions are going way too long, so they get cut off with the ellipsis. So maybe that wasn't the best example. But that's why you want a good title, and that's also why you want a good description. And you might as well use up the whole 65 characters, or in this case about 128 characters for the description. Okay? And that's why we do this. So the next part will be to insert that meta tag. I'm up here in code view. I just put my cursor after the title. That's probably a good place for the meta name to be put in. But we'll come back up here to our insert tab in the window. And you can see here that we've got different things that you could enter. We're going to keep this on HTML, scroll down a little bit, and we're going to use the word search for meta. Let's go ahead and click on that. So the meta name in this case, instead of meta, we want to click on description. It's the same. You could also do it through this link, but since this is such a common thing, it's going to do a lot of this for you. So this is the About page. So learn about the main character, learn about the characters and story background. Geez, I learn about the Philo, web comic characters, and story background. Also learn about Philo's author. That's still kind of short, I could play around with that, but just to give you the idea, go ahead and put that in there. And if I wanted to do some keywords are terms that people will search for your site. So let's actually change this. Learn about Philo, a Greek, we'll even do an ancient Greek webcomic about the character Philo. Meet Philo and the gang. I don't know. I could probably spend more time writing a better description. But if somebody did a search for Greek webcomic, this can help the search engines understand what my page is about. So I'll go ahead and put that in there. And you can see that it adds the meta name up in the head tag. And I'll even put about Philo, the webcomic. I'll even put a hyphen, Greek webcomic. So if Greek webcomic was important to me, it might be good to have it listed once in the title and list it once in the description. It wouldn't also hurt to have at least Greek somewhere in here, or a Greek webcomic in my content at least once. What you don't want to do is overdo that. So to some degree you can put in keywords for the search engines so that they know what your page is about. Gives it a better chance to rank well in the search engines when somebody does a search for Greek webcomic. Okay? Now in this case, I've done that with the About page. I could also do that with the Home page. But before we do that, I'm going to add another meta tag. And this one is going to be robots. And we're going to do no index, comma, no follow. And the reason why we're doing that, because eventually when we actually load this to a web server, it's going to be my web server, and or somebody's web server. And since it's a class, we unfortunately don't want it to get found. It can just because I have other stuff on that server, probably best if it didn't. But if you were writing this for something that you did want to have found in the search engines, we would set that to index follow. Since I'm going to probably delete this site after a while, I'm going to do no index, no follow, so that way the search engines don't waste time indexing this website. And I'll do that on every page. Now I could have written this by hand as well. I didn't have to use the insert tool. Just makes it a little easier, that's all. And this is still editable, and I could come back into code view and edit it right here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and hit save, and that's all we really need to do for that one. And you would just go to each one of your pages and add that title. So I always like to put the cursor in code view where I want the code to view, the code to go. So now when I put a description, check out this hilarious Greek web comic. Philo is the main character, and all sorts of bad happened to him. Boo-hoo. Alright, so this is trying to be sort of cutesy, but this description is written to try to entice somebody who's doing a search. So we go ahead and add that description. I'll go ahead and add a meta tag again. The value is called robots. That's what search engines look for. And we're going to do no index, no follow. We're going to do that on every one of these pages. And that is how, and you can go ahead and do that on your own site. I'll probably stop the video here and you can do that yourself. I wanted to show you one more thing. When we're managing files inside Dreamweaver, check this out. Let's say I wanted to change the words, the site folder name from store to shop. I can do that straight here in the files folder, and I just change this to shop, and it's going to automatically update all my pages. So the next time I open up my template, what I'm going to want to do here is change, it went ahead and changed the URL, but I can now change this from store to shop, and I save my template file, and that now will update all of my web pages. So I could change the name of something here in the files management, and then any links or content that I need to change globally, I do with the template file. So that's how we do the site management within Dreamweaver. So if I wasn't completely clear on how to manage all content, I hope that helped out. So if you needed to be able to make those changes to your site, you knew how to do it between both the template and the files management for your site. Alright, so that was the Dreamweaver template.